This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. We're halfway through the week. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi, and halfway through the week, but it might be treacherous from here on in.
And
the
rest of this week.
Well, from the east coast of Florida,
definitely.
it's going to not be a picnic, that's for sure.
And they're having a little controversy like Sarasota County schools when they didn't close for Hermine and Manatee County did. Dade County has not closed schools yet for today and tomorrow, and already Broward County and West Palm have closed their schools for the next couple of days. So parents are like, wait, what? We're in a warning and a watch. Why are we not closing schools?
Well, I think we'll probably start to see conditions there deteriorate in about 36 hours. So there's still some time to prepare and get ready, but certainly I think Friday and Saturday along the east coast of Florida, it's going to be some pretty squirrely weather, pretty rough stuff.
My parents were stocking up yesterday. They told me they were at Sam's Club and Costco. And
they're in Orlando, right?
They're in Orlando, Central.
They've got a watch up now for Orlando. And you know what? It is entirely possible that we could see a landfalling hurricane in the state of Florida. That's not out of the question. Absolutely not. In fact, some good computer models suggest that that might be the case. So we'll see how it plays out. Certainly, it's a little bit more ragged storm, 110 mile per hour winds currently, no discernible eye wall from satellite imagery. Of course, they'll be checking it out with aircraft as we head into the remainder of the day. Find out exactly what's going on with that structure. Here's the latest track. It's moving to the north right now, and eventually we'll be moving to the a little bit more to the northwest, honing in on the southern part of Florida. The only change in this track really is that it's been nudged a little further to the west in the southern part of the track and a little further to the east up around Jacksonville and the Carolina coast, and then dramatically shifted out to sea thereafter as opposed to up the east coast of the United States. Forecast for us still does not include any watches or warnings. However, our weather will be changing over the course of the next couple of days, and we'll talk about how coming up in just a few. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways. Volume is picking up in Manatee County, but the Green and DeSoto bridges are moving along at a nice clip, and everything else is also no problems, no issues or delays, no accidents in Manatee County, although the volume is picking up, as it does for this time in the morning. Sarasota County, for the most part, is looking pretty good, although just south of Clark Road, there are two accidents, one on Murdoch Avenue near Mayflower Street, and the other is just east of that at Buckingham Street and North Ridge Road. So be aware of those two accidents, but otherwise, Sarasota County, South Sarasota County especially, looking good. Now, as we talked about, topping our news this morning, at least 7 people are dead as Hurricane Matthew makes its way northbound in the Caribbean. 2 of those were children whose home collapsed on them. Now, the storm made landfall in Haiti yesterday.
And this Category 4 hurricane slammed the coast with 145-mile-an-hour winds. It is the most powerful hurricane to hit Haiti in more than 50 years. A bridge connecting the southern part of the island collapsed while the river is threatening to destroy this bridge leading to Port-au-Prince. Water levels are 15 feet higher than normal and are expected to rise. And as the hurricane now heads or actually exits Cuba, the concern shifts in Haiti to mudslides and possible tornadoes.
Here in Florida, Governor Scott is urging residents to prepare for the worst. The state remains under tropical storm and hurricane watches and warnings. 200 members of the Florida National Guard have already been activated for hurricane preparations and support. An additional 300 will be activated today to be staged across the state. And the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is also activating teams with equipment to remove debris from water access points, as well as assist in search and rescue missions. The Florida Highway Patrol has placed all troops on alert for deployment if necessary. And also the Army Corps of Engineers is monitoring Lake Okeechobee, which is near the top level. Now, Florida is expected to feel the impacts of the hurricane beginning tomorrow and lasting through the weekend. Governor Scott will speak with officials in several counties along the East Coast today to go over evacuation plans.
And residents in South Florida are already getting their affairs in order before the hurricane hits. Drivers are waiting in line at gas stations all across Miami to fill up.
I'm hearing a lot of screeching of tires, and I'm just waiting my time because I know it'll be worse tomorrow.
Residents are also hitting the grocery store and other businesses to stock up on food, water, and emergency supplies. Mandatory evacuations will begin today for residents of Barrier Islands in Florida's Brevard County. Evacuations also include those living in mobile homes and low-lying flood-prone areas. And a hurricane watch is in effect for Broward County, while a tropical storm watch has been issued from Miami-Dade County to parts of the Florida Keys.
And emergency management officials on the Suncoast are making sure they're prepared ahead of the hurricane. Sarasota County's EOC chief discussed response plans with the State of Florida Operations Center and the National Hurricane Center. Part of the EOC's preparation process involves studying what kind of impact Hermine had on the Suncoast.
Every storm we get, we take a look at what the effects were, and our stormwater and public works, public utilities teams know what Hermine caused, and if we had a similar event, they know the hot spots, the trouble spots.
Officials also wanted residents to have those hurricane kits ready to go. Make sure to check our 2016 Hurricane Guide. It's available on our website at mysuncoast.com for all your preparation needs.
And Matthew is also causing more concern about the Zika virus. Governor Scott warning residents about the dangers again of standing water and how it could worsen the spread of the mosquito-borne virus.
Everyone should dump the standing water around their homes and businesses. Encourage your friends and neighbors to do the same thing. Remember to wear long sleeves and wear bug repellent when you're outdoors. Combating this virus is something we must do together to protect our pregnant women and their developing babies.
According to Florida's health department, 20 new cases of Zika are being investigated. And one of those cases right here in Sarasota County, it is the 4th travel-related case of the virus in the county since the outbreak started. Manatee County has also had 4 cases. There are now 718 travel-related cases in the state and 139 locally transmitted cases.
In other local news this morning, Floridians being asked to vote on the issue of medical marijuana once again.
And the city of Sarasota is already bracing for possible approval. ABC 7's Ray Collins has the story.
When Florida voters went to the polls 2 years ago, the medical marijuana initiative didn't get the 60% it needed to amend the state constitution. But the issue is now back again, and the city of Sarasota is again taking proactive steps on where medical marijuana dispensaries could be located.
And should this amendment pass, we may have people coming in who say, well, I like to set up here. No, I like to set up over here. And so to get ahead of that.
Just in case it passes this time, and the polls show it should, Mayor Willie Shaw and the majority of City Commission voted to impose a 9-month moratorium on dispensaries. They want time to figure out zoning and building regulations. The mayor doesn't know where the dispensaries would go, but he knows where they won't go.
I'm sure we won't have them near schools.
Commissioners approved a 9-month moratorium 4-1, with the lone dissenting vote being Commissioner Liz Alpert, who thought 6 months was more appropriate.
Well, it just seemed to me that should be enough time to come up with a regulation when we already regulate pain clinics and liquor stores. So how hard could it be to come up with a regulation for medical marijuana dispensaries?
Commissioner Alpert says she wonders if some commissioners were trying to send a message with a longer medical marijuana moratorium.
I'm not sure, but just something didn't feel right to me. It just sort of felt like it was an attempt, perhaps, to keep it out of the city altogether.
We went back and asked the mayor if that was true with him. How do you feel about the idea of having dispensaries in the city of Sarasota, in the proper places?
In the proper places, I'm very much under the idea of compassion for those who are so deemed necessary to have an alternative to different medications.
A recent Florida Chamber of Commerce poll revealed about 70% of likely voters say they would approve medical marijuana in Florida. In the newsroom, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And Manatee County Sheriff's deputies need your help identifying a suspected bank robber. They say he took off with an undisclosed amount of money from the Fidelity Bank on 53rd Avenue East in Bradenton around 2:20 yesterday afternoon. After leaving, authorities believe he went to the gas station across the street and asked people for a ride. Eventually, he got away in this red 4-door sedan. Take a look at the surveillance video of the suspect. He's described as 5'7" to 5'10", around 160 pounds. And if you have any information, call the Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS, and you might be flush with cash as well.
That is, residents wanting to know more about city election candidates before making their vote will have a chance to hear from them in a forum tonight. Mayor John Hollick and council members Jeanette Gates and Bob Daniels are expected to participate. This forum is free and, of course, open to the public. It starts at 6 o'clock at the Venice City Hall, and it's being hosted by the Venice Gondolier Sun. In Manatee County, residents are looking to put a stop to a development planned along the Braden River. Pat Neal is looking to build 32 homes on 33 acres at Clubhouse Drive and Pine Meadow Way. A nearby resident, though, who passed away last summer, requested in his will that his 11-acre property right next to the development site will be given to the government or a non-profit group for preservation. Now, residents with the Keep Our Woods group say they hope this acquisition will encourage the county to purchase the property planned for development to preserve that property as well. The Planning Commission is expected to hold a public hearing about it next Thursday. And the nonprofit Sail of Freedom is making huge strides in putting an end to human trafficking and bringing light into the darkness. On Tuesday, October the 25th, you can help bring more light to this problem by joining Sail of Freedom and its sponsors at Gold Coast Eagle from 6 to 8:30 for an evening of celebration to help raise money for the cause. There will be gourmet fare, some sweet libations, many forms of dance and instruction with a special show and even survivor stories. All the proceeds benefit Sail of Freedom's mission to end sex trafficking. And this mission is pretty incredible here in our area, especially since Sarasota County had the first conviction and sentencing to come of a perpetrator of trafficking here in our area. And Sail of Freedom is taking care of the survivor and helping her get back to normal life, and it's incredible.
Oh,
so.
They do such good work, and it's such a bad problem.
It really is.
And such evil people involved.
They say in our world today, there's never been more slaves in our world today.
Oh, it's so sad.
So,
it's hard to believe, but it's true.
It's reality.
Yeah, it is. Another reality that the state of Florida is going to have to deal with is some strong hurricane-force winds along the east coast of the state. We'll talk about Matthew in a second.
And with the threat of Matthew, many airlines now, though, they're accommodating passengers who want to change their flight plans. We'll tell you which airlines if you're flying. Stay with us.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Complimentary maintenance included. At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC 7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC 7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC 7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
To recap our current watches and warnings across the state of Florida, the basically eastern coastline have either hurricane watches or warnings now issued. The watches are for the northern part of the state. The warnings are for the southern part of the state, meaning that hurricane conditions for the southern tip of the state are expected probably within 36 hours or less. We are watching our area remain not under any watches or warnings, with the closest warnings issued for Highlands and Polk County, where there is a tropical storm watch in effect. South of that, Glades County and Point South has a tropical storm warning. So it's close to us, but not in our area quite yet. That said, things could change. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see at least small craft advisories issued by tomorrow night through Friday. Perhaps even gale warnings. We might see some inland wind warnings up. And if there's any major or even minor changes in the forecast track of Matthew, we could certainly see the current watches and warnings for tropical storms shifted a little bit. 76 degrees, our current air temperature. Dew point is at 72. Northeast wind comes in at about 7. A fairly clear sky with only a few fair weather clouds out there right now. No rain showers in progress in our area, though clearly the trough that is going to influence the motion of Matthew is visible on our radar imagery here. We also have some scattered showers over on the other coast, and the beginnings of the showers of Matthew are visible on radar. Everything quiet right now, but you can certainly make out that east to west motion of the air around an area of high pressure that is going to steer our storm. It's now exiting Cuba. It's a Category 3 storm, forecast to move over warm waters of the Bahama Island chain and become stronger, well organized, and by either tomorrow night or early Friday morning get very close to the east coast of Florida. The thinking has not changed there. It still remains an offshore storm, but very close to the coast and paralleling the coast as it moves up the coast toward Jacksonville. That is probably one of the worst tracks that you could have for storm surge. And there are some computer models suggest a landfall of this system as well on the east coast of Florida. Too early to tell that yet, but we'll certainly be vigilant. Today and tomorrow, fairly calm conditions, I think, then becoming breezy around here Thursday night into Friday morning. And of course, we'll be watching for any minor changes in the track of the storm that could lead to major impacts on us locally. We also have Nicole out here. It won't bother anybody, but its kind of loop-de-loop motion out here in the Atlantic will influence the direction of Matthew. Matthew has exited Cuba slightly beat up. It has gone down to 125-mile-an-hour Category 3 storm. It is exiting into the Bahama Island chain, where it is forecast to strengthen into a Category 4 storm, get pretty close to the east coast of Florida, and then move up the coast. We are still not under the cone of this system. However, storm surges on the other coast are forecast to be at least 3 feet above ground level in many locations from Jacksonville down to Miami. Hopefully this storm system will stay further toward the east of this cone, lessening the impact on the state of Florida. And we, of course, are watching very carefully to see that it isn't to the west of that cone. Water temperatures out here are very warm, supporting the philosophy that it will gain in intensity. I think our major impacts will be some high seas around here, possibly even 10-foot seas. Wind speeds of 15 to 20. However, we still have a minor to moderate risk of tropical storm force from coast to inland areas, and possibly some rain bands could produce some stronger winds than that. So we'll be watching for that to occur as well. Northeast winds at about 10 to 15 today. Light chop building to a moderate chop, and the forecast calls for watching the tropics very carefully. Then the weekend looks good. This should bring us our first little taste of fall as Matthew pulls away from the state of Florida. Back to you guys.
Thanks, John. Taking a look at the roadways this morning, we're now seeing an accident popping up there on 41 southbound at 69th Street. That is near Terracea as you're heading into Palmetto. Other than that, everything looks good on the interstate and the Palmetto bridges. 41 starting to pick up in volume in Bradenton around Bayshore Gardens southbound there on 41. 301 though is clear, so is the interstate. Heading down into Sarasota County, a couple of hot spots on 301 around Fruitville Road. Just volume picking up there, nothing to slow you down too much. Still an accident at Buckingham Street and Northridge Road in South Sarasota. Other than that, the interstate clear, and so is 41 into Venice and Northport.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
She's one of the most followed people on social media, but could social media be what led robbers to attack Kim Kardashian in Paris? We'll take a look.
Good morning. We're here at Publix Aprons Cooking School with Chef Bob. Bob, what's on the menu today?
Well, we're going to do some appetizers. We're going to do some mini stuffed peppers and some teriyaki pork mini bagels.
Delicious. I love appetizers.
Cool. The first thing is the teriyaki pork. It comes marinated like this already. It's already marinated.
Great.
And we put a little glaze of ginger paste and garlic paste. We're going to throw that in the oven and get that cooking on 350.
About what temperature? 350?
350
okay.
till it's about medium internal temperature. You know, be like medium to medium well
and
would
still
be nice.
give you that juice.
Yes, that's what's nice about it. All right, so that's in there. What's going to go with the peppers is we have a little bit of mayonnaise here and a little fresh garlic.
Oh
It's gonna go on there.
Bring the garlic.
And we also have our nice pork that's going to go on top of that. And we also have right here, this is cranberries, canned cranberries, apricot preserves, and a little garlic paste.
Oh, a little fall flavor going on.
That's all for the pork. For the stuffed peppers, we have cream cheese. All right, this is the whipped cream cheese. We have some nice walnuts in there. We have some nice cranberries in there, a little green onions, and a little lemon juice. So we have all these cool things here to build a nice dish. So with the pork, when the pork comes out of the oven, you can see it's beautiful, perfect like that. We're going to take a little bit, put it on top of our garlic mayonnaise mixture.
Okay.
And we will take a little bit of our wonderful cranberry sauce.
It screams autumn.
Yep. And then for our peppers, we will just, the little mini bell peppers, we're just going to stuff a bunch of them, put them on a plate, and then you just serve these up. Now you can serve these warm, cold, hot, whatever you want. They're a beautiful appetizer to do something like that.
And it's something you can do a little bit ahead, which I like. So starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Aprons Simple Meals kiosk. Pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious dish. I can't wait to try it, Bob. Thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
Mom needed more care than we could provide, so we called Granny Nannies. She now has around-the-clock caregivers, and we have peace of mind. Thanks to them, she's where she belongs, at home.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
It's time to upgrade your favorite news app. Now, ABC7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a dynamic brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Stay connected with new features that make it easy to submit photos, share stories on Facebook and Twitter, and save stories for reading at a later time. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store. ABC7's all-new My Suncoast News app. Just another way we're here for you. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom. the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
At Granny Nannies, we provide your loved ones with the care they deserve, compassionate and experienced help right where you need it most, at home. Visit us at grannynannies.com.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Welcome back at 6:26. If you didn't already know, Kim Kardashian is one of the most followed people on social media and shares plenty of details about her life. But did she share too much?
Yes, ABC's Diane Macedo takes a closer look.
On our way to Givenchy.
In this morning's GMA First Look, social media mogul Kim Kardashian West was very publicly documenting her way through the night up until her robbery.
Show is about to start.
Some say her habit of very public postings could have led the thieves directly to her.
You cannot display your wealth and then be surprised that some people want to share it with you.
But security experts say it's not just stars who might be inadvertently sharing too much. This man was sentenced to 8 years behind bars after using Instagram to find the addresses of 33 women, stealing their jewelry and laptops.
He was able to just openly browse the different social media platforms and drive to the victims' locations.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we have tips for how you can protect yourself from social media predators. With your GMA First Look, I'm Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
Mom would always say you go to Burlington when you need a new coat. I love the jewelry. They have everything for the baby. Dresses,
shoes and socks,
sweaters, great fragrances.
all the name brands at a fraction of the cost.
It's Burlington Coat Factory. It's just Burlington. Oh, Burlington.
Would you believe my boy used to have food sensitivities? But then we fed him Blue Basics, and he's never looked or felt better.
If your dog has food sensitivities, it's time to try limited ingredient Blue Basics.
Anything meant to stand needs a stable foundation. A body without proper foot support can mean pain. The Dr. Scholl's kiosk maps your feet and recommends our custom-fit orthotic to stabilize your foundation and relieve lower back, knee, or foot pain from being on your feet. Find your nearest kiosk at drscholls.com. Also available from Dr. Scholl's, heavy-duty support for lower back pain. Lightens the impact of every step.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Consumer Expo is coming to the Venice Community Center October 7th and 8th from 9 to 3. There'll be free health screenings, door prizes, and products and services from 90 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy great food from area restaurants and see new boats and cars in the outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber Consumer Expo, sponsored in part by ABC 7.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, another heated debate last night, but this time it was between the vice presidential candidates, and we'll have the details.
Plus, some good news for travelers hitting the skies this weekend as Hurricane Matthew approaches.
And Nike turning a piece of fiction into reality. We'll tell you how it's helping a good cause.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi. And John's been the busiest man we know this morning. And
all eyes are on you and Matthew.
Well, Matthew, it's too early to actually turn your back on this. I always say you can't turn your back on a hurricane, especially a major hurricane,
you never know when it could turn.
In the near waters until it's north of North Carolina. You just can't. And the computer models are doing some strange things in the long term, so we'll have to watch it pretty carefully. But the latest track that came out at 5 a.m. this morning is adjusted slightly to the west in the early part, so it's a little closer to Miami, Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and then a little further actually to the east as it gets closer to Jacksonville and the Atlantic coastline. So we'll see exactly what happens with that. Impacts on us, well, we'll cover that in the next half hour. It's now exiting Cuba, having been beat up a little bit by the mountainous regions of Haiti and Cuba. It still has 125-mile-an-hour winds, 110-knot winds, and it's forecast to move over some pretty warm waters. But watch what happens in the long term with this storm by some computer models. They loop it out in the Atlantic right back toward the state of Florida, doing kind of a loop-de-loop there. That gives you an indication of how difficult it is to forecast the long-term strategy of this storm and why we need to keep an eye on it very carefully, especially over the next 24 hours to see what it does as it moves through the Bahamas. You can already see some of the rain bands being picked up by Miami radar as it moves through the Bahama Island chain. We'll probably start to pick up the signature of its eye a little later today on our U.S.-based radars. We're looking at a daytime high today. It'll top out similar to yesterday with a rain chance similar to yesterday as well. Be a muggy day. There's some nicer weather, though, coming our way for the weekend, and we'll talk about that and, of course, our hurricane coming up in just a few.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways, there is an accident in Manatee County. It's at 41 southbound and 69th Street. Just up there by 275 there. It's 41 southbound at 69th Street. There's an accident. Doesn't seem to be causing any issues right now, but do be aware of it. Also, volume is picking up as you come down from State Road 64, come south on 41 and 301, but nothing major, no accidents or delays other than the one up at 69th Street. And Sarasota County is looking good as well. Normal volume for this time of the morning. South County is free and clear of any impediments of getting where you want to go this morning. And topping our news this half hour, the vice presidential candidates in the hot seat. They squared off in their own debate last night in Virginia.
Yeah, the showdown was marked by feisty exchanges and repeated interruptions. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the highlights.
That is absolutely false, and you know
absolutely
that. And you know
true.
that, Governor.
It's absolutely true.
Because the FBI...
Elbows flying, insults at the ready. Last night turned into a fiery battle. Hillary Clinton's running mate Tim Kaine becoming an attack dog, forcing Republican Mike Pence to defend Donald Trump.
On the economy, there's a fundamental choice for the American electorate. Do you want a you're hired president in Hillary Clinton, or do you want a you're fired president in Donald Trump?
Pence didn't take the bait, and unlike the criticism against his boss last week, Trump's number two remained steady.
I'm happy to defend him. Most of what you said is completely false.
The pair clashing over Trump's taxes.
But he used the tax code just the way it's supposed to be used, and he did it brilliantly.
How do you know that?
He created a runway.
And immigration.
Senator, we have a deportation force. It's called Immigrations and Customs Enforcement.
Kaine also challenging Pence over what he claims to be Trump's laundry list of insults.
I can't imagine how Governor Pence can defend the insult-driven, selfish, me-first style of Donald Trump.
Pence ready with the response.
You and Hillary Clinton would know a lot about an insult-driven campaign. It really is remarkable.
As the two VP candidates sparred on stage over which campaign was more insulting, Donald Trump was active online, retweeting this about Kaine's looks. Kaine looks like an evil crook out of the Batman movies. The Clinton campaign quickly responding, Donald's literally doing it right now. Clinton and Trump will get the chance to face off again in person at the debate this Sunday in St. Louis. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Farmville, Virginia.
Meanwhile, Hurricane Matthew putting a wrench in President Obama's plans to visit Florida today. He was planning to visit Miami and then Tampa. He was supposed to speak at the University of South Florida, focusing on the Affordable Care Act. Instead, he's now staying in Washington, D.C., where he'll visit FEMA headquarters to stay on top of the storm's developments.
Several U.S. airlines are waiving flight fees because of Hurricane Matthew. American, Delta, United, and JetBlue added certain U.S. destinations to their change fee waivers. Previously, it was limited to Caribbean airports, and generally the change fee waivers allow customers to make one change to their itineraries without paying extra charges. Airlines will likely issue waivers for more U.S. airports as Matthew moves closer to land.
And the train crash that killed one person and injured 100 more in New Jersey last week. Well, the federal investigators say the train was traveling 2 to 3 times the 10-mile-an-hour speed limit when it slammed into the station in Hoboken. Authorities have recovered the second recorder from the train and are working to analyze that data. The recorder should contain speed and braking information. Another recorder was also recovered from the train, but investigators say it wasn't functioning the day of the crash. Federal regulations require commuter trains to have working data recorders. The regulations require they be inspected every 92 days. Meanwhile, some of the passengers hurt in the crash are preparing to sue the New Jersey Transit Authority. Several have filed intent to sue claims, and attorney Rosemarie Arnold, who represents many of the victims, is laying the blame squarely on the transit system. While New Jersey Transit is a public entity and immune from lawsuits, her clients fit the criteria to sue, namely their injuries are permanent or their medical bills are more than $3,600. And a 6-year-old boy killed in a school shooting in South Carolina last week will be laid to rest today, and it'll be done so in superhero fashion. Family and loved ones of Jacob Hall gathered for his visitation in their best superhero costumes last night. The family requested that those in attendance dress in colorful costumes because Jacob loves superheroes and always believed he was one. Community members agree that he was a very special kid.
A superhero is just something that's someone that does something extraordinary, and sadly his extraordinary was cut short, but it did bring this community and a lot of people together.
Now, Jacob died Saturday, days after being shot in the leg at Townville Elementary School, and that 14-year-old suspect in the shooting remains in jail.
Closing arguments are set for today in a federal trial that could change gambling in Florida. The dispute started last year when the Seminole tribe sued the state after key portions of a 2010 gambling deal expired. This deal allowed the tribe to have blackjack tables at their Florida casinos. The state then countersued and said the Seminoles had to remove the blackjack tables. Governor Rick Scott reached a new deal with the tribe last December that would let them keep blackjack and add games such as craps and roulette, but state lawmakers rejected it. Back to the future, making its way into the present, the self-lacing Nike shoes featured in Back to the Future Part 2 are now up for grabs. The company is raffling off 89 pairs of these sneakers. The special edition Nike mags are replicas of the self-lacing sneakers worn by Marty McFly, and tickets for the online lottery are just $10. This lottery closes on October the 11th, and winners will be notified about a week later. All proceeds will be donated to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. This nonprofit is working to find a cure for Parkinson's disease.
Michael J. Fox, who is the head of that, is probably walking on air today because the Toronto Blue Jays played the Orioles in a one-game and done playoff game in the wild card for the AL. And the Blue Jays, well, they went up 1-0 as Blue Jays and Suncoast resident Jose Bautista got on the board first. Joey Bats, no bat flip last night. He laid it down gently, but he was swinging a big stick as he hits the home run, gives the Blue Jays a 1-0 lead. The Orioles, after a beautiful defensive play by Kevin Pillar right there in the outfield, Mark Trumbo steps up with a man on and homers to give the Orioles a 2-1 lead. The Blue Jays, a couple innings later, would tie it at 2, and for innings, they would go unscored, and they go into the 11th. Extra innings when Edwin Encarnacion, with 2 on, hits the 3-run homer, and the Blue Jays win it in 11 innings, 5-2, and then be playing the Texas Rangers on Thursday to start the American League Division Series. They'll play in Texas, but boy, Toronto is pretty happy. They probably are not lacing their own shoes today, but they are walking on air. But John, the Bucks are supposed to play Monday night in Charlotte, North Carolina. Do you see any impact there because the storm's moving up? I know there's no way to tell, but like
pretty early to say.
Right, but
you know, there probably will be some stormy conditions, you know, thunderstorms around and such as that, but it's really too early to tell that.
Man, the Dolphins play at home on Sunday, so that'll probably be affected some way, somehow, obviously.
One thing I can tell you around here, though, is that if everything works out as planned, the effects on us will be relatively minimal. We'll still see some angry surf, I think, you know. We'll probably see some breezy winds, maybe even gusty winds. But the east coast of Florida is going to get hit hard, it looks like. We'll have that forecast for you in a second.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
On your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC7, your Suncoast News on Fire TV. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC7, your Suncoast News on the go. ABC7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store of choice. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again, they've gotten their life back.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Quick review of watches and warnings across the state. It's basically the East Coast that has the greatest risk, of course, with this storm, as you well know. Areas to the north in Florida have a hurricane watch up, and areas to the south have a hurricane warning up. Closest to us in areas of, Polk and Highlands County. Right now we have a tropical storm watch up, and to the south of that, Glades and Point South, a tropical storm warning. For our area, there are no watches or warnings related to this storm as of yet, although we are likely to see some sort of water or wave-related issuance of some kind of advisory or warning, probably in the next 24 hours, either a small craft advisory or a gale warning possibly. And there may even be some inland wind warnings for Hardee and DeSoto County. We'll see how it goes. 76 degrees, our air temperature dew point is at 72, mix of clouds and clear sky with a northeast wind at 7. There's our trough of low pressure that's going to eventually steer the few rain bands you're beginning to see of Matthew along the coastline of Florida and eventually out to sea, it looks like. Some of the easterly wind flow, which will be sustained over the next several days, visible now on radar imagery as a few scattered showers move into that coast, to the east coast. Right now, everything's very quiet across our area, but that'll probably change this afternoon as we get more showers and thunderstorms building, similar to yesterday across the region. Trough of low pressure at the surface is sitting there. High pressure out in the Atlantic is sitting there. They're both vying for which one will have the greatest influence on Matthew, and right now it does look like the major influence will be that high pressure ridge steering the storm toward the coast of Florida through the Bahama Island chain, gathering in intensity and creating some really rough conditions over on the other coast. High surf, flood surges, an issue there. We have no surge issue here whatsoever with an offshore wind flow. And some pretty strong storms, so the heaviest of the storminess will be out in the Atlantic. There's still the likelihood of some, perhaps even tornadoes over on the other coast, as well as some pretty heavy rainfall. Today for us, calm, and tomorrow probably pretty much the same, pretty standard kind of shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon activity. And then I think Thursday night into Friday morning, it'll start being breezy around here. And then we'll watch closely for Matthew to make any slight changes in its track. If it moves closer to the west, why then we have a different ball game. We're looking at Matthew right now out there over the waters, moving in toward the Bahamas, and out to the east of it, another storm, Nicole, which will just meander out here, really of no bother to anyone, but it does have an impact on the storm, as well as the high pressure ridge to the north of it and the trough of low pressure on the Atlantic coast. Currently 125-mile-an-hour wind moving to the north at about 10, Category 3 storm moving toward the Bahama Island chain. Forecast to turn more toward the northwest as it gets closer to the state of Florida by early in the morning on Friday or late Thursday. And then as a Category 4 storm, major hurricane, moving up the Atlantic coast and then back out to sea. A lot of question marks about what happens to the forecast as it gets past Jacksonville, though, so we'll watch that very carefully. If things work out as planned, the major impact for us will be some angry seas, as well as some 15 to 20-mile-an-hour wind, which is quite handleable. You know, that's not a big problem. Maybe some tropical storm force winds in inland areas where the risk is highest in Hardee, DeSoto County. Maybe. We'll see about that. And then some rain bands possible moving through the area. Other than that, the impacts will be relatively minor. In fact, it might even help us with a strong offshore flow. It might break up some of that red tide that's out there. We'll wait and see if that actually happens. Northeast wind at 10 to 15. Seas will be increasing to a moderate chop later today. And over the course of the next several days, we'll watch carefully the storm as it approaches the coast of Florida, on the east coast of Florida, I should say. If you're a boater, I'd certainly check to make sure that your boat is moored just in case those winds do pick up. more correctly. And then as we head into the weekend, we clear, we cool, we get lower humidity, a little taste of fall. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, John. As far as your commute right now at 649, still that accident out there in Terracea, right outside of Terracea and Palmetto. That is at 41 southbound at 69th Street. Seeing some slowdowns there because of that in both directions, actually. As you head down, the bridges are moving along well. I'm not seeing major slowdowns there just yet. The interstate also is clear, so is 41 and 301 into Sarasota. No accidents to report in Sarasota, and the arteries out to 75 are looking great. Your commute down on 41 and the interstate into Venice and Northport also looking good. Well, with flu season approaching, some doctors are recommending that certain patients should hold off on getting a shot.
The science is mixed when it comes to the length of time a shot provides protection from the influenza virus. The CDC recommends everyone over the age of 6 months old get a flu shot by the end of this month. However, some immunology experts say people over the age of 65 should wait. They say elderly immune systems have a tougher time responding to the vaccine, and it wears off faster for that age group. Delayed vaccinations may give people greater immunity to the virus later in the flu season.
Just in time for Halloween, a classic psychological horror film is returning to the big screen. The Shining, starring Jack Nicholson, and based on the Stephen King novel, will return to select U.S. theaters on Sunday, October 23rd and Wednesday, the 26th. There will be 2 showtimes each day, the first at 2 p.m. and the second at 7 p.m. The release is part of Phantom Events and Turner Classic Movies TCM Big Screen Classic Series.
Maybe one of the classic lines of movie history. Here's Johnny.
Oh my goodness, I haven't seen this, so maybe this is my time.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah?
I didn't see it until a few years ago, but it's good. And actually, Stephen King was not the author, but he was the subject of a novel by James Patterson called The Murder of Stephen King. But he pulled it because he didn't want any copycat problems after that. And Stephen King lives right here.
Very interesting, all of that. Stay with us.
We'll be right back.
If you want 24/7 access to ABC7's breaking news stories, weather forecasts, traffic alerts, health reports, dining segments, local events, Suncoast View, and more ABC7 specialty programming, now there's good news. Introducing the free ABC7 channel on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Your 24/7 access to ABC7. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device and download your free ABC7 app now.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
We have a behind-the-scenes look at all the news that's fit to print. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we talked to a former senior writer of the New York Times about the legacy of that famous paper. A local artist takes a look back at old Florida, and it'll bring back some memories. Plus, Suncoast for sale with nothing but dream homes. And Apollonia Grill joins us in the kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Taking a look at the maps one more time. 41 southbound at 69th Street in Palmetto. Still an accident there, causing a little bit of a slowdown in both directions. 41, though, in the Interstate 301, looking pretty good at this point in the morning. No accidents in Lower Manatee County, and in Sarasota County, everything looks great as well. South Sarasota County still looks good there, too.
Okay, so here's the forecast. Over the next several days, expect some pretty tame conditions through Thursday night. Then Friday, it'll be windy, breezy, if not windy, around the area. Surf will be up. We're not looking at any flooding problems. There'll be a rain band or two that may come through. Of course, all of this hinges on the track of the storm, which we'll know more about in the next 24 hours. And I can't urge you strongly enough to stay on top of the forecasts over the next 24 hours. But right now, effect on us looks very manageable.
Okay.
But it's very good right now. We have time to prepare, so people can go out and prepare without the droves. And
yeah, you know, if I had a boat, I would make sure that my boat is well tied up, just in case, you know, the forecast changes, the winds get stronger, and you don't want to be out there in rainstorms.
So there's no way it could really ever shift over to the west coast.
The chance of it crossing the peninsula, moving into our area as an intact hurricane are minuscule.
Okay, well that's good. Have a great morning.